Why are you labeling it lie number 3? Evolution is a religion that people believe in. Do you believe the T-Rex is related to a carrot? You do believe a T-Rex is related to a carrot. You believe a whale is related to a pine tree. That's a belief system, Mr. Nelson. That's not science. Don't call that a lie. I'm not telling a lie when I say evolution's a religion. It is a religion.
Ever seen a frog produce a non-frog or a cow produce a non-cow? You can believe it if you want, and you obviously do.
Why are you calling that lie number 4? That's the truth. Nobody's ever seen a cow produce a non-cow. Now, I used the word cow. Cows produce cows, and somebody in my comment section said, oh, Hovind doesn't know anything. It's a cow and a bull that produce babies. Cow is the generic word that I think all people use to describe the cattle kind. Okay, I'm sorry. We'll call them cattle if that helps, all right? I know about a cow and a bull, okay? Anyway.
No, I obviously don't believe that.
Oh, notice the drama. No, I don't believe that. Yes, you do. You do believe the cows and bananas are related. Yes, you do. Be honest.
That is a straw man fallacy because evolution doesn't teach that and never did.
Yes, it does. I'll show you in a second.
You can't produce a secular textbook to support what you said because...
I think I can. Here's the one you're going to mention in a few minutes, the Campbell Biology. This is the 2017 edition, Mr. Nelson. And we got all the pages marked. Yes, the updated latest one. Yes, they do teach all life forms have a common ancestor, so the cow and the banana are related. That is still what they're teaching. Yes, it is.
Because evolution doesn't even permit that, and it would violate evolutionary laws.
What? Evolution doesn't permit a frog producing a non-frog or a cow producing a non-cow. Watch what they do here now. This is slick. They say, he's going to talk about going forward, cows will always produce cows, dogs will always produce dogs. Mr. Nelson, go look at your charts. Cows and dogs came from an amoeba. Was an amoeba a cow or a dog? Or did it somewhere along the line produce something other than its kind? Did it go out of its clade?
Descent with inherent modification adheres to monophyly, meaning that every new genus or species or whatever is just a modified version of whatever its ancestors were and cannot grow out of their ancestry.
Bingo! You're finally getting it. God made them after their kind, and they always bring forth after their kind. They cannot grow out of their ancestry. Whoa, there's hope, folks. There's a light at the end of the tunnel from this dimwit who thinks that cows and bananas are related. They cannot grow out of their kind. Did the bacteria that turned into a whale and a pine tree, did that grow out of its kind, Mr. Nelson? How can you be such a hypocrite and say they can't grow out of their kind when you do believe they did grow out of their kind? A few more seconds here, we got to go. I got another debate to do here. Okay.
So evolution allows new and different varieties of frogs, but it doesn't allow any frog to produce a non-frog.
You hypocrite, you teach frogs came from an amoeba. Doesn't he?
Yeah.
Think about what you're saying, son.
Nor for an ape to produce a non-ape, which is why we are still apes.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Maybe he did, okay?
I don't think you understand what evolution really teaches.
You have just proven that you don't know what evolution really teaches, or even what it is.
I know way more about evolution than you do, okay? I know it doesn't happen. I know it's a fairy tale for grown-ups, and I can show you what they're teaching in the textbooks. I got hundreds of them in there. You guys can look around and see it. I know very well what evolution teaches, and I don't believe it. I think it's not only stupid, I think it's dangerous. I think it's dumb, capital D, dumb. Now, if you want to believe that, I don't care what you believe, but I do care that you want to force that on all the kids in America, and I got to pay for it. That I care about. Go start a private school, teach kids frogs, go teach kids in a private school that they got to pay for. Kid, you're an ape. I don't care. It's your private school. Go teach them. No, you want to get all of us to pay for your religion to be taught.
Being in your career for this long, you have no excuse for not knowing the subject any better than that.
I've been in this career a long time, and I know the subject really well, Mr. Nelson. You're the one that doesn't have an excuse. I've corrected you over and over and over again. Yes, you do believe they do grow out of their kind, out of their clade. You do believe that.
You're demonstrating your learning disability again.
Learning disability again?
What?
I didn't demonstrate it the first time. I don't have a learning disability. I can learn just fine, okay? demonstrating my learning disability. You're the one that can't learn. You still think pine trees and frogs are related. You really do. You have a learning disability, Mr. Nelson. I'm here to help you. I'm a teacher. I'll help you learn, okay?
Because I've already corrected you on exactly this point when we spoke before.
You didn't correct me. You spoke, hot air came out of your mouth. You didn't correct me on anything because I was already correct. I'm trying to correct you.
In no sense of the word is that a religion, because it is not faith-based, it's evidence-based.
You think evolution is not a religion because it's evidence-based. Where is the evidence of any animal, any plant, producing something other than its kind? You just got done saying you cannot grow out of their ancestry, but you think they did. It's a smokescreen. Going forward, the frog's always going to produce frogs and the pine trees produce frogs. That's what evolution teaches. Well, your theory says, your religion says evolution, it says pine trees and frogs have a common ancestor. So they did grow out of their heritage, didn't they? Yeah. I don't have a learning disability.
And it has nothing to do with any purpose for anything, much less anything to do with the beginning of the universe or what came prior to it. Nor does it require a belief. I would suggest
evolution is nothing but a belief. There is no evidence for it at all. None. It's a complete religion. I was right. You didn't correct me. I'm correcting you. Evolution is a religious belief. Purely religious. Come on.
And start from not believing anything and just review the possibilities.
I show every night for the last 60-some nights, right from the textbooks, there was a big bang where nothing exploded, and then
lie number 5, Mr. Nelson, I can show you right from the textbooks. There was a big bang where nothing exploded. It's in all of them. How many of you have seen it in the textbooks? I got 100 textbooks in here. Yes, they do teach. That's the big bang. Don't call it a lie. Now you're going to get done with this series and say, I saw Hovind live 85 times. And you haven't seen me lie once. Just because you're calling it a lie doesn't mean it's a lie. I've corrected you on this many times, Mr. Nelson. Okay.
then Earth cooled down, developed a hard rocky crust, and it turned into soup from the rain.
You're calling that lie number 6. Isn't that exact? I show that every night. Word for word what they teach.
And the soup came alive.
That's exactly what they teach. The first life forms came out of the soup, isn't it? Watch any of my series I've done. I'm up to number, 131 now. That's what they teach. I show right from the textbooks.
That is all part of the evolution theory.
No, it isn't. None of that is.
Yes, it is.
The Big Bang Theory, nucleosynthetic theory, stellar formation theory, and the assorted hypotheses of abiogenesis are all distinctly separate theories.
They are all part of the evolution theory. Let's see. Let me show you from the latest edition, which you do not have, I don't think. I'll help you. Okay. Here is Origin of Molecules and the Origin of Life on Earth. If that's not part of the evolution theory with this whole section on the origin of life, Mr. Nelson, then why don't you call Campbell and get them to take this out of the book? This is a biology book. Okay? If that's not part of the theory, why is this in the book? It is part of the theory. Let's see, what else do we have here? Page. I'll get slides of all this eventually. Synthesis of organic compounds on early Earth. How life got started from the primordial soup. Whoa. If the primordial soup is not part of the evolution theory, then help me get it out of this book, for heaven's sake. If you have an honest bone in your body, you say that's not part of the theory. Yes, it is part of the theory. That's my gripe. If that's not, then get it out of the book. Let's see. I got lots of stuff marked in. Let me just get a couple more here. And we got other things to do here. I hate to break the news to you, Mr. Nelson, but you are kind of a low priority around here. kind of like a mosquito. You got to just, once in a while, you got to swat them. Okay. Okay. Oxygen, how the early atmosphere had no oxygen, and it finally, the first eukaryotes developed. There's a whole section on the origin of life in this textbook. Why don't you help me get that out if that's not part of the theory? You say it's not. How about this one? A tree showing a human, a chimpanzee, and a frog having a common ancestor. Was this common ancestor a frog or a human? Which was it? Did it grow out of its ancestry? I know going forward it cannot. Did it in the past, Mr. Nelson? Was this, these two lines come together right here. Is this a frog or a human? Is there any difference between a frog and a human, Mr. Nelson? If you don't know, Abby, our 2-year-old resident here at the campus, can show you the difference between a frog and a human. She's 2. She can show you, I think, can't she?
She can.
Abby would know. Yeah, okay. Abby would know. If not, your 4-year-old daughter could do it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no problem. We can go on all night. But yes, you do teach they're related, and they did grow out of their ancestors. Quit lying about it.
Well, except for abiogenesis, of course. And none of them are any part of evolution theory.
They are all part of the evolution theory. Princeton, Harvard, they all recognize it as having different steps of evolution. I showed them to you earlier.
This sort of religious distortion of scientific concepts is what physicist Wolfgang Pauli famously criticized.
Distortion? You guys are the ones that distort the concept. No animal ever produces anything other than its kind, but you think long ago and far away it happened back in SpongeBob La La Land.
And saying, this isn't right, this isn't even wrong. Inmate 0645-2017 has just given us an example of fractal wrongness, where his perspective is so wrong that any arguments to support it are also wrong on every point and at every level.
Oh, see this mirror right here, Mr. Nelson? This is you doing the fractal wrongness. Everything you do at every level is wrong. Every level. I'm sorry. I'm correcting you, son. Free education. Free. Okay?
He's been corrected about this plenty of times before, including...
No, you didn't correct me if I wasn't wrong. You spoke, hot air came out of your mouth. That's not correcting me.
by me directly over and over again. But as I said, he does not concede any of his own mistakes.
I didn't make a mistake. Your books say frogs and humans are related.
That's what it said.
Don't they? I'm not making a mistake. That is part of the theory, and that is what the book says. And you didn't correct me because I wasn't wrong. I'm correcting you. You say that's not what evolution teaches. Yes, it does. Correct it, Mr. Nelson.
Because those are all he has, and he can't learn. So we just keep...
Can't learn. I think I've learned quite a bit over the years, okay? And I can handle this anytime. But as far as debates with you live, where you can use your bully, Gallop, the raw rant, I'm not going to do that, okay? I like this much better. I got a space bar, and I can correct your idiocy every word if I have to. Sweetly in Christian love. I still want to get you saved, by the way. Come on down, visit Dinosaur Adventureland. I'll give you a tour. Take you to lunch and lead you to Jesus and baptize you right here in the lake. I would do that, okay?
Keeps repeating the same old lies, and I have to keep repeating.
I'm not repeating any old lies. You keep repeating the lies that you don't think frogs and humans have a common ancestor. Yeah, you do.
The same corrections to them. For example, take a look at Berkeley University's introductory primer, Evolution 101.
Okay, so Berkeley says evolution is only after life gets started. Bacteria, all the plants, all the animals have a common ancestor. I've showed this chart many times. Well, hold it. Mr. Nelson, is a bacteria a plant or an animal? Is a bacteria a whale or a pine tree? Which one is it? Did it grow out of its ancestry somehow? Your charts, even Berkeley charts, show all the different animals having a common ancestor. You're the one who needs to learn, son. I'm here to help you. Call me anytime, 855-BIG-DINO, extension 3. I'll be glad to explain it to you over the phone. I can help you. Or come visit. 488 Pearl Lane, Lenox, Alabama, population 36. That one guy died, didn't he? Okay.
Daryl lives here since like 73 now, isn't it?
Is it 73 now?
Well, Daryl lives here.
Daryl's here.
Well, yeah, Daryl's got 10 kids. Gee whiz, that's right. I don't think they did a census since Daryl moved to town. By the way, did you see the drag line he got? Yeah. Man, 1950 something. Still runs great.
Awesome.
If we put about 30, 40,000 into that thing, it'd be worth $5,000. That's going to be good. Clean out the lake. All right, folks. Mr. Nelson, I don't want to disappoint you, and I don't want your followers to think I'm afraid and I'm running. I'm busy. I got another debate to do here, so I'm leaving. But I'm going to come back whenever I get time, Steve. Whenever we get 20, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, let's keep going. We're going to go through as far as we have to. None of the arguments you made on all 7 videos of yours, none of them scare me. I'm ready to go for all of them. Okay, see you next time. Bye.